This is my Dunkin' that was converted over to Sunrise. This is my lemon meringue, a cherry mango that everyone loves, right? Well, I loved it until I got all these other all-stars and this wasn't my all-star anymore, and I wanted to put something else on it, and something that was hard to find. This one was really nice. You see how close to the tree I got it? So I got an ice cream growing on a cogswell, which is really nice. I have a seedling in the ground and I want it to grow faster, so I put a seedling on here.
And you notice how the tape is a little wrinkly? Because I'm pulling tight on it. That actually gives it more strength.
Hello everybody, welcome to Fruitful Trees, and today we're going to be showing a video. It's a perfect time for this video, and it's going to be about grafting mangoes. Now, we're here in November, and it's getting kind of late to graft mangoes because they do much better in the warmer weather. But I'm finding this year at least, this is the best time for the most success is right now, because a lot of the trees are what we call push-in, where it's able to get a good graft from the tree for the budwood that you want to graft from to put it on another tree. So it's much more difficult to graft in the winter time when it's colder, at least for mangoes. But I've been grafting the last couple of weeks, and I want to show a couple of you what I've been grafting. Now, I consider my mango trees my all-stars. I mean, these are the all-star team of mangoes for me that I love the most, and I have them in my yard. I don't really need to graft. I mean, there's a couple of mangoes I have in pots, and I'm taking a little budwoods of those and putting them on trees. There's one or two trees that I'm questionable about if they're all-stars or not. But for the most part, things are shaping up. And you know what I realized the other day? I was looking around my yard here. I literally have 4 trees in this backyard that's original. And of maybe the 20 or 30 trees I have here, only 4 of them are original. At some point, I've moved some, or top worked some, or got rid of some and replaced some. But that's the way it goes. And here's a perfect example of why I did that. When I first started planting these mangoes, I was just trying to find the best spots possible. And some of them I've never tasted before. I was going off what other people were saying of what is good and what's not. And that's an example. As you can see, it's in my neighbor's yard. I had a choice when I was planting mangoes, what I was going to plant and where. And it came down at one point to 2 mangoes I've never tasted. One of them was called Excalibur, and one of them was called Sunrise. Well, I decided to leave the Excalibur in the ground in my yard, and I decided my neighbor was generous enough to say I could plant something in his yard, or a few trees in his yard. So I moved my Sunrise tree over there to his yard. Turns out Sunrise ended up being my favorite mango of all the mangoes that I have. And the tree is growing beautifully there. Now, it does have much more room there than it would have had if I left it where I had my Excalibur fruit tree. As a matter of fact, because of tight space and not spacing things well enough, I had to take out that Excalibur and sell it. I did taste it, but it's still nowhere near as good as the Sunrise. Well, I want to get Sunrise in my yard here. I did buy a new one, but I wanted to top work that one, and I'm going to show you what I did with that, because I had another tree here which also was questionable when I was originally planting these. This tree here was originally a Dunkin' mango tree, and I don't really like Dunkin'. Dunkin' is very productive. I don't dislike it. It's okay, but it's not an all-star in my opinion. So I attempted to change this tree to a Sunrise and get the budwood from that tree, and I was successful at it. Many of these branches on this tree are Sunrise, some are still Dunkin', and eventually it'll be converted to all Dunkin'. When I can figure out which ones are still left Dunkin' on a tree, I'm going to do that. So that's one of the examples. Now, here's another example is the 2 of those original 4 trees that I have are these 2 lemon meringue mangoes. Originally, my favorite mangoes that I knew about from Gary Zill's program, and I planted 2 humongous, they're humongous now, some of the biggest trees in my yard, lemon meringue mango, but I don't need 2 of them. And so I have a great opportunity to top work something on this and to convert this to something. And we'll see how that goes, because I tried a couple of times and wasn't completely successful on that. But those are just some two examples. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you some other things that I recently top work for mangoes, and just to give you some ideas. Now, budwood is something that you can buy from Truly Tropical or Tropical Acres Farms or some other growers that sell budwood. But it's fun. It's just fun to top work trees, and I don't like to have too many multi-grafted trees because I want a tree to be a tree and not have 10 different ones on the tree. But when you have limited space like I do, sometimes you don't have a choice. In my neighbor's yard, which I'll show you in a little while, he had a wild mango tree growing there. And what I did was I top worked it with a pineapple pleasure. And now that I got the pineapple pleasure on there, last year it grew, but my neighbor ended up getting them before I ended up getting them. So I wasn't able to taste them. But the tree's going well, and I'll show you that and show you a couple of other things. Now, I've been top working trees lately. My success rate is still about 50-50, so I still got a lot to learn. I'm experimenting with different ways to top work it, but here we go. Everybody, as I was saying, this is my Dunkin' that was converted over to Sunrise. This is my lemon meringue, and this one, I was going to move. This is an M4. It did very well last year. I was going to move this and top work it somewhere else. However, it actually is a good spot because I ended up, or I'm going to be taking down this soursop, and that's going to open this whole spot up for this M4. So I think I'm going to leave it here and not top work it. But sometimes I'll just stick trees in the ground or leave them in a pot to get the budwood and have that budwood available. That if I want to top work it, I'll have this to top work. Because all I really have to do is cut back this lemon meringue a little, and then there's enough space. So the M4 is a keeper. Now, when you have a multi-grafted tree, sometimes they also refer to it as a cocktail tree. And if you've been watching my videos, this here is my cocktail tree. Because originally it was a Kent tree. And this branch here is still Kent. And last year I had my latest 3 mangoes last year were Kent trees, even though somebody stole the last one. But I top worked that, and that's all Angie. That's all Angie. That's Kent. I had actually orange sherbet coming out of this, which I cut, and now I wish I didn't, but I did. And this one here, this side, is Fairchild. I love the Angie. I really like the Kent, but I'm not too impressed with the Fairchild. And I wouldn't mind having something else here. Now, initially, the best place to graft would be when the tree is younger, as close to the bark or the original trunk as possible. So everything that grows off of it is going to be your new graft. So that would be originally the best thing to do. But here, I put a bunch of grafts of Karen Michelle at the ends. Now, I've been doing this for a while, and they haven't been taking, so hopefully these will take. But Karen Michelle is one tree that I have in the ground. I put it in the ground for the budwood, just to get some good budwood because it's not in the best spot. But if this Fairchild part of the tree can turn into Karen Michelle, I'll be very happy about that. And I just got them in here a couple of days ago, so we'll see how it goes. And as you can see, there's one that actually took. I'm looking, the first one took, so that's a good thing. So the Karen Michelle was successful on this. And as I said, my success rate's only about 50-50. I'm going to show you one more tree here. People always ask me about this painted tree here in my yard. And this was originally a cherry tree. A cherry mango that everyone loves, right? Well, I loved it until I got all these other all-stars, and this wasn't my all-star anymore, and I wanted to put something else on it, and something that was hard to find. So I ended up putting emerald, and look how beautiful it's growing. It's growing really well. Hopefully I'll get some mangoes this year. However, I still left some cherry on there, a few cherry, and I got the emerald. And on the end here, there was like a whole section pointing out this way. So I put on here, I got a graft right there, and I put on the end here, I think that was apricot that took. So I have my original cherry, then I have my emerald, and then a little side part of the apricot. And people ask why I painted the tree is because when you take all of the flower, the leaves off, that the trees normally used to be in shaded, now it's not shaded. So prevent sunburn, I paint the tree so it doesn't get sunburned. Now I learned that the hard way because I have these two big lemon meringue trees, and when I trim back the tree way too much, the tree kind of got a little sunburned. If you could see that in the camera. But it's growing back nicely. Now this would be a great place to actually graft if I wanted to. This, because it's so close to the bark. If that took this whole tree, that's why I might put sunrise on there actually, because that would be awesome to get that. Here I see I put a few on here already. I don't even know what that is. I don't remember. It's important to label them. It's very important to label them. But that's oh, that's creme brulee. That's what it is. I have a creme brulee in the ground, and I had one creme brulee budwood, so I put that there. So we'll see what happens with that. But this is a great example for this video of where to graft as close to the tree as possible. So these would be great to graft. And then if you wanted to change this tree, you can cut around all the end, and then this will take over and be a new tree. Now it's a little higher up than I'd like it to be for a graft, but it's not too high, and that's really nice. So that is my lemon meringue. Here's a bunch of grass from the cherry tree that took, that one. This one was really nice. You see how close to the tree I got it? I cut this tree I cut everything off. And there's the graft, and it's growing beautifully. This is a cherry coming back, like I could let it grow. Initially, these were the two that took. This one and this one. And it's looking really nice. So I'm very pleased with that. Okay, so now here's some of my top working projects that I've done. That is a lemon zest. Lemon zest is excellent. Maybe my number 2 tasting mango, even though I often say lemon zest is the best. The tree has possible issues, so I'm going to rate Sunrise higher than that. Sunrise bulletproof tree. But this lemon zest is excellent. I love it. It's big, but it's a candidate for a top work in the future if I have to. But right next to it here, I have a sweet tart tree, and here is a sugarloaf. Now, sugarloaf takes forever to actually fruit. It flowers every year, but it doesn't always fruit. And as you can see, just to play around here, I top worked another tree that I have in the ground that's not completely big. I just put it in the ground. It's Sun Puri. So I have 2 sugarloaf trees. One is much bigger than this. Initially, I thought I was going to have to take this out because it's so close to the sweet tart. But I might be able to initially keep them both in, depending how that works. But this is Sun Puri on my sugarloaf. And again, it's up top. So if I end up getting sugarloaf and loving it, I could always cut the top, the Sun Puri off. But for now, I don't have Sun Puri fruiting, and I want a Sun Puri fruiting, and I think that might fruit actually before the sugarloaf will. I did have 3 mangoes on here last year, though. And I also have this part of the tree that's growing higher than the rest of the tree. So if I get more budwood from Sun Puri, I might put it up there and just have a double tree here of Sun Puri and sugarloaf. Now this here is my sweet tart tree. This is a sweet tart, and I like sweet tart, but just playing around and having some fun. I have an orange essence tree that I have to move, so I ended up putting some orange essence grafts there and one over here just to see what happens and how it takes. And I have another sweet tart as well, so it's not the best spot and I don't need 2 of them, but just in case, I got that done there. I have another tree here that I was actually going to cut out, but I'm glad I left it because when I cut back that star fruit, it opened up a nice space here, and I cut back the avocado, so the tree opened up. It opened up really nice, This here was a cogs hole and still is a cogs hole. And initially I tried to top work it with ice cream and only one branch took. And that's this branch right here. And you could and you see it split, so I got two branches of ice cream. So I got an ice cream growing on a cogs hole, which is really nice. And you can see the difference of the leaves here. This is cool. This is ice cream. You see the leaves are really skinny and long. And look at the cogs hole. You see the difference. So that's really cool. It's a helpful tip when you top work if you have mangoes that look different, because it's important to label them. But in case you lose the label, when the mangoes come in, you could identify the different mangoes by the way they look. So obviously different looking mangoes, you'll be able to tell. Now over here, I top worked this one here and this one. This one didn't take, but this one did take. And what this is I have a seedling in the ground and I want it to grow faster. So I put a seedling on here and we'll get a chance to see how it is. A seedling is also another great opportunity to plant, and then you can top work that to get something on there. But on this tree, I have cogs hole, ice cream, and my seedling. And like I said, my graft rate's like maybe 50-50. Because you see here, that one was on the same time as that one, and that one didn't take, and that one took. So there's just different methods of how to do it, and I'm trying to learn. All right, this is my sunrise tree here in my neighbor's yard. And I'm about to pick some more budwood because it's excellent right now to pick it. And I'm going to top work that lemon meringue tree in the inside just to see if it takes, because I'd like to get this in my yard, even though I have free access here to my neighbor's yard. And this was the wild mango tree that I planted, that was planted here, that I top worked the pineapple pleasure. And as you can see, it looks like it could use some water, but all the grafts took, and they had some mangoes on here last year. This is my sunrise tree in my other yard, and my neighbor's going to get some budwood now because I told him he needs to graft this tree because this is a wonderful tree. So he's going to show us how to pick. And this is the orange essence one. Show us what it looks like here.
Orange essence. See, that one's ready. There's another one.
See, here's how it looks when it's pushing.
And this is a what?
That's what you want to look for, orange essence. Okay.
I'll just take these for now because I don't want to confuse them.
All right, let's show me again. Show us what you're looking for.
See the fresh growth and pushing.
Okay, fresh growth and pushing. All right, thanks, man.
Yep. Well, one thing you have to remember is you can't put it on a tree that's not pushing. You've got to put it on a tree that's active. If the other tree that you put it on isn't active, the chances of it success.
Well, it has to be green to green, right?
Well, it has to be moving too a little bit. There has to be some kind of growth movement. You put this on a tree that's dormant, it's not going to graft.
All right, that's a good tip, and maybe that's why I only have 50-50 rate at this time.
Yeah. I get about 80% of my grafts come through, but I've been doing it for a long time.
Okay, so I know green to green, because I have a tree back here that I wanted to graft onto, but everything's black. There's not even green shoots, so then it's not good to put anything on there now.
Yeah, wait, something's got to be moving. You know, both sides need to move.
All right, so that's what it should look like right there. All right.
Nope, all right, I'm going to go put them on the tree right now.
Well, do you have trees that are...
I'm going to walk around.
Okay.
I don't know if I've got anything, but I've already got these now. Oh, I have some small potted ones that are moving. That's not where I wanted. I wanted to put them on branches on the bigger trees, you know.
What kind of tree are you going to put them on? Whatever's available?
Whatever is available right now. And what's the growth habit of this tree, by the way?
The orange essence is medium size.
Okay. Medium.
Sunrise is very vigorous.
Okay.
That's why I want to move the orange essence. It's too close to the sunrise.
All right. You know what? Maybe I'll put this on orange sherbet.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And the season's different. Orange sherbet is mid-season. Orange essence is late season. So that'll help you
definitely
when you do it.
Okay, guy.
All right. So apparently I've been making this little mistake here because I've been getting the right budwood, like he said, like it looked. But the problem is the trees I've been putting it on have not been pushing. So It's a good point. You see how we learn? He's been doing it much longer than me. So it's not just getting good wood. It's putting it on a tree that's pushing as well. So some people prepare the tree by cutting the leaves off and leaving this open. All right, so let me get back to show you what I've been doing. This here is my step mango, which I wasn't particularly liking this year, but it's in a great spot. And I want to move that orange essence. So I move it over here. I'm putting them on over here. Orange essence. And I've already had this one take. See that? That one took. And I've had one more take. See, I just put them there. And this one took. So if it's not the ideal situation, the more you put, the better it'll work. So I'll show you two more trees here. This tree is my fruit cocktail tree. This tree is my candidate that's not an all-star. And I'm ready to move this or top work it. But I'm going to leave it this year. But I wanted to get some sunrise on this one. It's in a beautiful spot. But nothing was ready. There was nothing pushing on this tree to graft onto. Nothing. No even the green on green. Other than a great tip my neighbor just gave us. Here's a bunch of trees in pots. If I wanted to, I can get budwood from those. But that's what we're looking at. And I have some seedlings back there that I top work to other trees. And that's what's happening here. All right, everybody. So that's just an example of some of the things we're top working here. And it's good to have neighbors that have been doing this for a long time. That explains why my success rate was probably 50-50. Still better than nothing, but I don't want to take the time and energy to top work if I'm not going to be getting stuff on my tree. So my neighbor just took the graft. And so what were you just saying? None of your trees are really ready
None of
yet?
my trees are ready, but these little short ones, they had recently had a growth spurt. So what I did is I'll force them on another growth spurt by clipping them short, and then they're going to pop out and move.
So that's called preparing it, right?
Yeah. So,
okay.
And I'll take, no, this one has got that damn joint there. Should be able to work.
So he's cutting it down. This is a cliff graft.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a pickering that he's
well, no, this is just
onto. Oh, this is in a pot.
Just
okay.
Seedlings.
Okay. So he wrapped it up there, the budwood, and he's doing a cliff graft. How many years you been grafting now?
Oh, probably. Oh God, 25, something like that. This blade is dull, so that really sucks when you have a dull blade. Makes it really hard to get a good cut on it.
And you're using the Profilium tape, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now this is the side you want to look at. Look over here.
So it only needs to match on one side, right?
Yeah, you've got 4 sides. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can even just get one side working, you know, it's exactly placed in there, right? In this case, I've got both sides are working. That side's not. That's okay. That'll work. And so then I will wrap her up.
Now the top you left open a little there, no?
Well, I'm going to put a little bag over it. So.
Okay. So it's okay if it's a little open as long as you have a little bag?
Yeah, well, you don't even, it's okay if it's a little open even without the bag. In fact, I haven't really used these bags. I just got them, and it's kind of a new experiment.
So it's okay if the top's a little open even without the bag. But if it rains and gets wet, that's an issue, right?
Well, I don't think so. The issue is getting wet in the cut itself.
I see. Just wrapping it up.
And you notice how the tape is a little wrinkly because I'm pulling tight on it. That actually gives it more strength. Look, go away. Beat it. No.
So this is a tree that's in a pot that he just grafted onto from a seedling, most likely.
Yeah, it's a seedling.
Now he's going to take these bags.
And we'll stick a little bag over it.
Where do you get these bags?
Amazon. I know, like, this bag stuff for me is new. I know a lot of folks, they don't even wrap the scions when they do it this way. So it might be completely useless, you know, but like I said, it's an
Now,
experiment.
I know you're putting a rubber band there to seal it, but can you leave it like that, or you just don't know? Okay.
I mean, like I said, I'm new at it. I'm new at putting these bags on. In fact, these are the first ones I've used like this. So I don't know. We're going to find out, though. But I'm just wrapping it around like that. I think that kind of helps moisture in. And what I just discovered, though, also is, you know, a lot of times you want to put a little pressure on the graft itself.
Yeah, I used to use clothespins, and I had good success.
I do that, and that works pretty good. But so what this, I just realized on the last one, is I pull it up because you want it to be up off of it so that the rubber band will actually grab a hold of that graft right there and help hold it in. It's a little hard to pull it up over it, but I just did it on the other one.
You want to give it room to grow up there up top.
Yeah.
Now, when it's ready, do you cut the rubber band off because you don't want to like move it?
Right. When it starts moving, after it's growing a little bit. So the rubber band is on the graft itself, and then there's room up here to break through. There's one right up there you can look at that took.
Yeah.
Recent one.
What is that?
That's a rosy gold on this pickering.
Good.
Just, you know, it's a branch.
Yeah, you definitely want to label them though, because it's easy to forget.
It's written on the branch itself.
Okay.
Temporarily, but I need to mark it better because those permanent markers aren't permanent. You know.
No, yeah. To have a map is best.
Yes.
So he's wrapping the sunrise graft that I just did. All right, everybody. I am going to finish the video off right where I started today. It's been a fruitful morning. I got to see my neighbor, and he helped me do some grafts, or at least talk to me about grafts, and I'm glad I got that on camera. Well, I'm back at my lemon meringue tree, my giant lemon meringue tree, and in my neighbor's yard, the sunrise, I got the grafts the other day, the budwood, but today I went to my other yard and I got some budwood from my sunrise tree, and I just had a perfect spot right in the middle here of one of my lemon meringue trees, and I put a bunch of sunrise grafts on there. Now, if that takes, that's going to be beautiful, because as that grows, I can cut the outer limbs, and then this whole tree could be a sunrise eventually. Because that's just, I just had a frozen one, and wow, even frozen, they're amazing. And now I did, it's not really a mistake, but I put two grafts here, a cream brulee, and this might be a Sun Paris, yesterday or 2 days ago. So if they both take, now I got a decision to make. But I got enough assurance here that either Sunrise is going to take, Sun Paris, or cream brulee. If just one of them take, I'll be happy. But if they all take, I'll be thrilled. Okay, I hope you learned a couple of things about grafting mangoes today. I certainly did. Thank you to my neighbor for always helping out. And we'll see if his took, if mine took. It's exciting. It's an exciting time. And it seems like mango season is far away, but I'm still eating frozen mangoes right now, so I'm not missing them too much. But I'm looking forward to mango season 2024. I don't want to go crazy with the grafts. I'm just having fun here. But some of you said I already went crazy with them. Here's my papaya tree. I'm about to pick a papaya. All right, everybody. Let me know what you're grafting, what you're doing successful, and your tips. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you have a yard and you'd like me to come check out and film your yard, contact me. My email's below, especially if you're in South Florida. I'd love to come on out. But even if you're not, let me know where you're at and what you're growing. All right, everybody. If you like this hat, I got them in every color. Well, not every color, but 3 or 4 different colors on my website. Link is below. I also got shirts for Fruitful Trees. Until then, everybody, have a great day and keep growing. For more educational videos about mangoes and other fruits and how to grow fruit trees, please look out the other videos on this channel, Fruitful Trees, and also subscribe if you like, and also share these videos with others. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and keep growing.